Hello, Dale Shakes fam. I am. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy for this sense of completion. Let me turn my music off, by the way, because I was jamming before you arrived. I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to exist in this moment with you. This is our last Text Exchange Tuesday, week 8, and I wanted to do something special. I wanted to do a live poem for you guys. I have a couple of words that I put in the cap of my typewriter, or my typewriter's case. I guess you could say my words are missing. Hopefully this is a great poem. But we've got full moon, awakening, quarantine, love, Shakespeare, euphoria, spring, and blackness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shake this, I'm going to choose one, and then I'm going to write a poem on my beautiful Contessa Deluxe typewriter that I often take with me, or I did pre-pandemic when I did soul poetry events. So without further ado, we're going to choose a word. All right, I'm going to choose. Spring! The thing is, I love spring, not only because it's one of the best months of the year because it is, in fact, Taurus season, but because of the sunshine and the flowers and the rain and all of the beautiful energy that comes with the new season, with awakening, with the rising of the sap, with all of that energy, all of the beautiful blossoms and things like that. So, without further ado, let's write this poem. I want you to be able to see my typewriter a little bit. All right, there we go. All right, cool. Okay. Okay. That's the process. It's just me getting a word and just sitting for a minute and typing, and whatever comes out, comes out. So, without further ado, spring. Morning dove coo mixed with sunlight, a rupture of the wind and time, a couplet of two beautiful things made more whole by the essence of growth in all things. Elongated evenings, more jovial spirit, your mother's smile, the forgiveness of an extra hour of sun, spring grounds like no other. Water ice brings energy and the tenderness of your footsteps into warmth. Calls for you to remain even as the rain comes, drops on your cheek, water from some unknown source. Awesome. That felt very nice. So I want to thank you for all who've watched, who've been a part of this beautiful text exchange project, and who've become part of the Delaware Shakespeare and also the Brevity Bookspace living organism. And I wish you health, I wish you wholeness, and I wish you peace. Yeah, sending that out always to everyone at all times.
Hey Del Shakes family, David Stradley here, coming to you from my backyard today in the hopes that a mourning dove may plop down on one of the bird feeders out here, echoing the mourning dove you heard at the beginning of Salym's poem. And Saliym, thank you so much for sharing your text exchange, sharing your soul poem. I was wondering when we started this text exchange process if we were going to get to hear one of your poems, and it's very fitting that we end our text exchange journey with your soul poem on spring. And it was so nice to watch you write that in the moment. You were so peaceful and contemplative and thoughtful as you made those word choices. And those of you watching, I may, if you want, now that you've heard the poem, maybe go back and watch that writing process again and see if you can tell when certain images came to Saliym. But anyways, watching you write that soul poem on spring made me start to wonder what it was like, what it might have been like to watch Shakespeare write. Now, the story I tell myself is that Shakespeare wrote very quickly. He wrote 38 plays in about 15 or so years of writing time. I imagine that perhaps he had have a busy day in the theater and then come home to his apartment in London and just feverishly start writing the next play, working late into night until his candle burnt down. I don't know if we would have been watching him if he'd have been quite so thoughtful and peaceful as you were, Saliym, in your writing process. But every once in a while, in one of Shakespeare's plays, a character does reach out to another character and speak in a similarly thoughtful and contemplative and careful way. And frequently those moments are kind of soul poems in themselves, moments where a character is looking at another and trying to capture just what exactly that person means to them, and to do so carefully and full of love. One of those moments is from a play called The Winter's Tale. And this is a play that has two seasons, winter and spring. And so very appropriate to go along with your spring soul poem. And the monologue I'm going to share today is from Florizel. Florizel and Perdita are two young lovers in the very spring of their affections. And at this moment, Florizel just turns to Perdita full of what he's feeling for her and tries to come up with the words to share what he means. And I hope you hear in the careful images that he puts together to try to capture what Perdita means to him, a reflection of Salym's careful choosing of words to capture what spring means to him. What you do still betters what is done. When you speak, sweet, I'd have you do it ever. When you sing, I'd have you buy and sell so give alms, pray so. And for the ordering of your affairs, to sing them too. When you do dance, I wish you a wave of the sea, that you might ever do nothing but that. Move still, still so, and own no other function. Each you're doing, so singular in each particular, crowns what you are doing in the present deeds. That all your acts are queens. Thank you so much for joining us for Text Exchange Tuesday. I hope you enjoyed learning about the 8 poets of color that Saliym shared with you, and I hope in hearing those poems reflected against Shakespeare's works, you gain some new perspective on Shakespeare as well. Again, thank you so much for joining us. We hope to see you in person soon.